Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. In today's video, I'm going to explain Power Apps components and some of the custom properties. In previous video, we have discussed about the Power Apps component libraries and how we can create it, and within that, how we can create a component and retrieve that components into any Power Apps application that are present in the same environment. So today we will see some of the components. And before we going to create a new component, let's first understand why exactly we need these components. So in Power Apps, we can simply drag and drop the controls and we can arrange everything right. Then why we need to use these components is, let's imagine your application is having 15 screens, and in every screen you need the same header. Maybe that header is containing the logo on the left side and user profile on the right side and username, some same kind of stylings was there. Then as a beginner, what we will do, we will copy that controls and put in all the screens, right? So later point of time, if you are required to change the company logo or the username or okay, anything you want to add or remove, then you have to go through these 15 screens and need to update the same changes everywhere, right? So instead of doing these same things again and again, it's better we can use the component. So if we create one component, then whatever the changes we are needed, if we update in one place, then in all the 15 screens wherever you have used, that changes will be applicable. So we can remove these duplicate things and also reduce our time, and we can manage all the things in one place. So in that kind of scenarios, we can use these components. So I will open one Power Apps application, and here if you see, I just created two components. One is header one and left navigation one. Today we will discuss about this one, and also I will explain some of the custom properties and what are those. Then we will implement these things. So first, in the Power Apps application, whenever you open this one, if you come to this component section, here you can able to create a component. So here you can see, by clicking the new component, will create one component. Then you can rename it that component based on your requirements. Let's say I will provide footer. Now when I provide this one, this way you can create a component. Now there might be a scenarios like we need to get the data dynamically. Let's say here I have an header component. Here it is showing the logged in username and welcome message, right? So instead of this one, I want to display the current screen name. So as of now, I will provide like dashboard. Now I have provided this one. So when I add this component into the remaining screens, in this screen you can see I already added, and whatever the heading I have added, it is showing over here. Now in this new screen, when I'm going to add in this section, so where you can find the component is under this custom, you can get. So I will choose this header component. So you can see it is showing the dashboard, but ideally in wherever in which screen I am in, that screen name I need to display instead of this dashboard, right? So in that cases, we need to the app will pass that which screen we are in, then the component need to receive that data and display here. So for communicating between the applications and component, we need the custom properties. So in that properties, we can pass the data to the app, or app also pass the data to this component. So now we will see some of the like what are the properties are available while creating a custom property. So when I click on this one, a new panel is open. So here we can able to provide the like whatever the custom properties we want. Let's say for this scenario only, we will take example. In this we our requirement is like, in which screen I placed this header component, it needs to dynamically display the active screen name. So that time what I can provide, I will just simply provide that screen name. Okay, so this display name and name will automatically taken whatever you entered, and the description you can provide it. As of now, the custom property it is there, leave it as it is. Then the property type, so here we have four property types are there. One is data and the another one is function, then event and action. So for each of the property types are performing different actions. Let's say the first scenario we discussed, we need to display the active screen names, right? So in that case we are passing the data between from app to component and component to app. These things are there. So in that case we need to choose the property type as a data. And there are also the scenarios like in this component you are creating one function. When you are passing data to this one, the component will return the data to it, to you, to the app, like that. So on that function related one also we can provide. And also event one, let's say you want to perform anything, creating the event it is showing, right? And triggering anything in the app you can perform through this one. And also action, so you can get all this information in this official website. I will also provide this link in the description box below. You can go through it. So here they clearly mentioned for the event properties will involve the logic functions and we can provide the input functions into it. Then it will take and it will return. Based on this kind of properties we can implement. In this video I'm mainly focusing on the data, and in the coming videos I will explain some of the examples for function, event and action also. So first we will see this one. So I have chosen the data and property definition. Here again two things will be there. One is input and another one is output. So to understand this one clearly, when any data, when the app is providing data to this component, then you need to take the type as a input. When component is giving data to the app, then we need to choose the output. So in this video we will see both the things. One is input one and the output one. Now currently we are doing the input one. Why? Because app needs to give in which screen we are in. So I'm going to take this input and the data type. So again here we can create what data type we want. Let's say text, number, boolean, date and time, screen and record, table, image, video, color, currency. These kind of things are there. So currently our requirement is like to display that title, right? So I will take this text and we will also see some of the examples on these things. So I choose the text one only. Let me create it. Once I click on create, under this one you can able to see this is the custom property which is the screen name. So where you can check this one is in this header component. Here if you click on that, the screen name is coming. So here you can pass whatever you want. And before that, within the component, let's first see, I just added one text label into it and one image control. So in the previous video only I explained like how to create components and adding all these ones, right? So in the image one, if you see, I just provide the user.image. If image is there, it will display. Otherwise, initials it will show. To make it round, you can provide the size like width and height same. And the border radius you can 50. Then it will come like this. And here I just added one text label. So here we will take now, instead of dashboard putting in statically, we will provide header component dot screen name. So currently the screen name property is containing text, right? So it is displaying text. If I put dashboard, then it will display the dashboard. So as of now we made this component ready. Let me save the changes. So once we change it, let's say in these three screens are there, right? Now in this component, now here if we go to the screen name, this property, instead of dashboard, provide app dot active screen dot name. So here it is showing component screen because the screen name we gave component screen, right? Let me copy this formula. In the same way, here also we will provide for the screen name, instead of dashboard, just this formula. So now you can see it is dynamically taking on which screen we are in. So whenever you are making the applications like IT help desk or leave management, multiple screens will be there, right? So it will dynamically take. So this way, the app is passing data to the component and it is retrieving and displaying directly. So in these scenarios, this component will reduce our time, right? So if you want to change anything, you no need to update in all the screens, just come here and update the things. Let's say this color was in this green color, right? Sorry, this color, so I will change it to this one. Let me publish this. Now if we go to the screens, you can see in all the screens the theme was updated. Now we will see the another example where we can create a custom property that should be output. So for example, if we are creating output property means, then the component will give that output to the screens. Okay, before going to discuss about the output property, let me first show you one example so that you will understand the purpose of doing that. Then we will implement that property. So in this screen, if you see, I have a left navigation component showing these many properties, these many options. So when I play this app and when I click on the contracts, it is showing the contract information, same invoice, then this one. So whatever I am clicking, that particular table is showing the information, right? So how it is possible? Okay, now if we observe this one, here the component is returning the value that it is selected. So based on that, we are displaying the tables. So in this main container, if you see, I have some of the tables. The first one is this one. If I go to the visible property, if you see, I gave the condition is like if the left navigation one dot selected title is matched with this vendor details, then it needs to visible, otherwise not. Same for table invoice. If you go here, you can see the same thing I gave. It means this left navigation is giving which one I have selected, and then that one we are comparing with this value. So this selected value is the communication history and it is not matched with this one, so it is not visible which one the invoice is one. Currently it is showing communication one. So in this kind of scenarios we can use the output property. So let's discuss what it was. So in this component, first, we will see how we can create a output property. If I'm clicking on this one, you can provide the custom property like that property name, and in the property type always be the data only because we are passing the data, and in the property type just choose the output, that's it. Then clicking the create will create one custom property with output property definition. Okay, so here we will see this example. In the left navigation, I just created a component and I passed the width is this 250 and the height is as it is only. I didn't change anything. Then here I created this selected output property. If I open this one, you can see I provided selected title and then the name on both are same only. Property type is data and property definition is output. Then the data type is text only. Then within this component, I just added one gallery control, and gallery control is showing some of the items. We will discuss that also. First, we will discuss about the output one. So within that gallery, I have added one button control only. And in the button control on select property, I just created one variable named global selected title, and for that one I am providing the this item dot title. So whatever I am selecting, that title value, it will be stored in this global variable. Now that global variable I gave to the left navigation selected title was there, right? In this property I have provided this global variable name. So this way we are passing the value to this selected title, and from the selected title, if you come to the screen, now this component is giving the value to the application, and we are comparing based on that value. So here for comparison we are using that left navigation dot selected title, right? So this component is returning data to us, so only we have chosen that output property. Now we will discuss how I made this one also. So in this navigation property only, I created one more custom property, that is nav items. So if I click on this table, if you see nav items and the data only, this is input one, we are giving that input to this component. So the data type is, instead of text I have chosen the table. So why? Because within this I am providing the gallery and I need to display these many items, so table is the best option for this. And after creating that one, if we go to the type, that nav items property, here I created one table which is containing one column named title, and I passed these values. You can even change it later. Currently I gave this vendor and all this the five options, right? So in the gallery items property I have chosen this left navigation dot nav items property. So this is returning that table. If you click on that, you can see this one column, this title one, and all the options. So for displaying all these options in the button text property, I gave this item dot title. So that's why only in the unselect property I gave I'm storing the selected title within this variable. So now this variable is containing this one. We can use it for comparison. Now I hope that you understand how you can pass the data to this one, and how app is passing data to the component. Now, as I said previously, in this component, you can, instead of these four, if you want to add some other also, just come to this nav items and you can update it. This component you can use it in many cases, like you can even give the filtrations based on the user defined role. Let's say the logged in user role, if you have defined in any SharePoint list with admin, then the admin needs to see only these three. Then you can give one filter condition, then that will be also applicable. So for show you an example, let me copy this one and I will provide another one. I'll just add here, and here instead of communication history I will provide response history something. Then you can see here one more option came, but that is not present in the another screens. Let's say if I add here, here it will show defaultly this option, not the newly added. So if you want in particular screen, I want to filter out only these many options, not all the things. So that time you can apply these conditions on these components. So this way you can use the components in your application to reduce the duplicate controls, and we can create in one place and use it in multiple places. So in the next coming videos, we will see some of the examples on functions and action. This event, the property types are there, right? On that we will see some of the examples. Thank you for watching this video, and don't forget to subscribe our channel.